Hello and Weclome. As you may or may not have noticed, we're having a very different stream tonight. No intro jam, no intro jamage, you'll be glad to hear probably. We're going to deep dive on a topic that I kind of, if you've seen the community post and the thumbnail of this, I suppose, you might have an idea what's going on. I've noticed a bit of a trend, if you like, going on in not just GuitarTube, YouTube in general, but GuitarTube is the niche community in which we exist. So I want to talk about it here. I basically need to get it off my chest. I've not felt this strongly about something in a while, probably since I last did the buying subs video back in the day. Yeah, so I've been kind of bottling it up. So some people might not like this, and if you're not a YouTubey person, because this is going to be very creator centric, so I completely understand if it's not going to be your kind of thing, but if you like to see behind the scenes kind of stuff, you might just find this interesting. Also, I wasn't going to be doing too much of the sort of back and forth chat thing tonight for this, which is a new thing that may or may not continue. It's not a hammering on about, it's a hard hammering on about. We're going to hammer on hard about this particular topic. We're going to go hard. So that's what's going to happen. Got a lot to talk about. So, hello and thank you everybody for coming. Hugely appreciated. I see we've got a lot of the names that we usually see here, and I appreciate you all coming in, but please bear with me while I try to do a more sort of, I don't know, professional format here. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help because it's the AI thumbnails. Mainly it's AI thumbnails, and I'm seeing a lot of my fellow creators using them. Channels of all sizes, from the biggest to the smallest, and I think they might be doing some harm, at least how I see a lot of them getting used to channels big and small. That's what I think. That's my claim. I could be wrong. This could be a lot of old man yells at cloud. Most definitely. But what we're going to go over, I've actually took some notes. I'm quite professional. So I've put aside 2 hours for this specific topic. We might not need all that, hopefully not, but there's a lot of things I want to get into. And if you're a creator, you're probably going to find this interesting. You might disagree with a lot of my findings. So, have I missed anything else? So yeah, I'm not really seeing anybody else talking about this, so I need to get it off my chest. So, we're hard hammering on about the thumbnail situation. So, what we're going to be talking about in the stream is, yes, mainly about AI thumbnails, and I'm going to show you, let me bring up this screen here. I'm going to show you how to spot them, because you may not have known that you've seen them before. I'm going to show you how to make them, why I don't think they're a good idea. I'm going to show you how I make a thumbnail from scratch and the software that I use, which is this. This is not what I would normally do. This is an AI thumbnail that I used for demonstrative purposes. I'm also going to show you how to improve a bad thumbnail, and we're going to get to see some behind the scenes analytics on my part as well. I'm going to show you everything. I don't care. I'm going to show you everything, right? Because I want to hopefully help some people. And yeah, I don't know if I mentioned there, but I'm also going to show you how to improve a bad thumbnail. Because there's a lot of common mistakes that I see my fellow creators using, and I think there's some stuff in here that might be useful. Now, there's another section that I might do in this stream after you hear me talking about this for a bit, and if you think I know what I'm talking about, or if I'm saying anything that makes any sense, if you want me live during this stream to have a look at your thumbnails and give you some constructive feedback and maybe some tips, then just let me know in the chat. Start off your message with a triple question mark so it stands out, and we'll have a wee look if you want. If you don't want to do that, I've got a plan B sorted out, so that's fine. I can completely understand why someone wouldn't want to do that. Okay, where do we start? There you go, that was a big long intro, wasn't it? I do want to say hello to everybody really quickly, sorry. Hello, Francis Chambers, Jojo Fry, great to see you. Dave Fiendish is in. Richard Sheehan's in, hello. CD Nelson, Peter Collins, Anton's in. Crazed Fandango. Sorry, we said Richard Sheehan, but we'll say it again. Hauser68. IMA640 is in. JR Channing is in. Good Music is Good. Budget Pedal Chap. Indie OG. Robbie F. And I think we're all caught up. No, we're not. We're not caught up. People are still coming in, sorry. I hope I didn't miss anyone. IMA640. I don't know if I said that, but hello to you too. Where have you? I just seen a comment there that said rant. Yes, that will probably happen. Right, I got lost. I got lost on IMA640. Did I miss anyone? Sorry if I missed you. And if you have a channel, let me know and I will make you a moderator and you can add in a link to your channel in the comments and people can check you out. Michael Hennessy, hello to you, mate. Graham Campbell, I don't know if I missed you there. Jimmy Biter, what's up? Good to see you, mate. Right, where are we at? Stephen Barr, hello. An hour of thumbnails, this sounds fun. Actually, mate, it might be closer to 2 hours. I'm really sorry. Like I said, it might not be what people are into. Feel free to, off you go, and we'll get back to business as usual next week. But like I said, I just need to get this off my chest. I need to talk about it. Okay. Now, I'm unsure about how to do this first part or whether to even do this first part because I want to show you how to spot a thumbnail. Oh, great. So we've got Jojo and Graham Campbell are up for me having a look at the thumbnails. Okay, great. I'll remember that. And towards the end, well, if there's time, we'll get a look at that. Great, thank you. Okay. So the first part is I want to show you how to spot an AI thumbnail. Do you think that you know how to spot an AI thumbnail? And by the way, let's get into the poll as well, right? I'm going to go into the poll. So we did a poll this week as we do every week. And we're talking about the thumbnail situation, hard hammering on about. You see, it's different. It's a hard hammering on about. There's a brick wall because brick walls are hard. That brick wall may or may not be AI. I don't even know. I just got it from Canva. I'll be talking about Canva in a bit anyway. Right, so here we go. We did a poll and I was asking people, what puts you off clicking a thumbnail the most? And there's a lot of things in here, a lot of tropes. So we've got 215 votes, right? Because a lot of people just think they maybe don't care. And some of the comments that we've seen were people saying things like, if I like the creator, I don't really care what the thumbnail is, I'm going to click on it anyway, which is fair enough, and I could see that I do the same thing. So anyway, number one was mystery boxes, right? I use that a lot. I'm going to talk about that later. That was the least offensive at 6%, but still offensive. Offensive is the wrong word. Next up at 23% was thumbnail face. Hold on. Oh my God. Right, guilty. I've used them before. So by the way, that picture there, these are all from my own videos, right? So just to show that I'm a complete hypocrite and I've done them all. Funny story, this thumbnail face here was actually a clip from the video. I actually did make that face during the video. That was when Jet Guitars announced that they're going to be doing their own pick guards. I was literally shocked. I might have played up to the camera a little bit, but anyway. Next up was the hyperbole words. Insane, game changer, epic, right? 32%. And yeah, that kind of grinds my gears as well a little bit when I see it. It's a big turn off for me. And then a whopping 40%, which ties in with exactly what I've been seeing recently and my own feelings and what I thought is AI generated thumbnails. A lot of people are in the same boat with the AI generated thumbnails. So the thing is, if you look at my audience, can I even show you this? I'm going to try and show you this, right? So let me know in the chat, right, if you can tell me if you think you can spot an AI thumbnail, right? If you're confident that you can spot an AI thumbnail, just say yes or no. Sorry, I can't, sorry. Again, I said I'm not engaging with the chat as much as normal because I'm trying to kind of focus and do this properly. I'm sorry, right? I still appreciate you coming, and I can see some stuff. So anywho, where are we at? Yeah, I'm going to show you some analytics here, right? So if I go into my analytics, funnily enough, and I go into audience, and I go down to, hopefully this is the right thing, here we go. Here's the age and gender of my audience, the viewers who watch this channel on the regular. Obviously it's 99% female because of my looks. But no, really, the part I want to focus on is down here, if you can see it. I know this might be a bit small for you to see, but there's 45 to 54 years, that's kind of my age, 24%, and 55 to 64, 23%, and 65 plus, 12.7%. So over 60% of my viewers here are over 45, right? An older generation, so to speak, like myself. And I wonder if they're all, I don't want to discount anyone, if everyone's savvy enough to spot an AI thumbnail, because my thoughts are that potentially this category here, insane, epic, game changer, is also AI thumbnails. You might just not know that they're AI thumbnails. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people saying, yes, you think you can get into it. Now, this is the part I'm really not sure about how to do it, because I'm going to bring up my YouTube homepage. Now, when I brought this up, see, every other day, except for before I started the stream, my homepage, my feed, was full of these AI generated thumbnails, right? And it was just so easy to spot, and they were from all different niches, and I would be fine just picking one out and saying, there's one, there's one, there's one. But for some reason today, it's showing me a lot less, and it's showing me a lot less guitar content. I don't know why. I think it's maybe because I'm not usually watching YouTube at this time on a Thursday. I'm preparing for a stream. So it's showing me all kind of different stuff. So look, here is my homepage. Let me just refresh it, see if anything happens. See what comes up. Oh, there we go. Look at this. There we go, right there. The thumbnail says AI. Oh yeah, I'm only joking, it's not AI at all. Right, but look, this is part of it here. I don't mind talking about Rob Chapman, right, because he's absolutely massive, he's huge. But here's the thing. If you don't know, if you can't tell, this is an AI thumbnail, right? And even Rob Chapman is using them, okay? He's just posted this 42 minutes ago, 119 views, and look, there you go, he's got 726,000 subscribers. Massive channel, OG, everybody knows Rob Chapman, and he's using AI thumbnails, okay? And that's not a judgment. By the way, I'm not judging creators for using AI thumbnails. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just the way it's done. I'll get back to you. So, some of the ways you could tell is, well, I mean, the main giveaway in this one is just the face. Like, that doesn't look exactly like Rob Chapman. What AI does, I'll show you when we create one from scratch. What the AI does is it tries to make, it tries to fool you that it's not an AI thumbnail by giving hyper-realistic facial features like little hairs, little spots, little aging marks, things like that. But all these add up to being things that are not your own, slightly different from yours, so it looks a bit off and it doesn't look like you. That's part of it. I think that's just a theory. But what actually interesting about this particular one is the green sound. The green colour here, which I think he might be leaning into the Shure colours. I'm not sure if that is the Shure colours. But anyway, the biggest giveaway for me is the text style. Okay. See the white text? Now the white and the green there, it's usually white and yellow, and it's always slightly at an angle, and the font text itself is always very slightly italic, if you like, slightly leaning, right? So we'll scroll down a bit more and we'll see if we spot any more. And by the way, like I said, not judging Rob Chapman for using AI thumbnails, right? Everybody's using them, let's get into it. Okay, so we'll scroll down a bit more, see if we can spot another one. Right, so far, I'm not seeing any. Some of them might be AI, but they're doing it in a more, in a different way is all I want to say. Right, I'm not seeing any here. This might be one here, this rock and roll true stories, but maybe not. This one, I'm not sure if it is or not, but it's not the kind of ones that I'm seeing. And look, this is exactly what I said is happening. I'm not getting to see it. No one's showing me them. So far, we're all safe. No, I think these are safe. So some of this one in Lee Fuges here. See, Lee's my friend, and this font here is a little bit AI-ish, but it might not be. It might not be. It looks like a well-designed thumbnail. This is an AI thumbnail. Look, there you go, game changer. And the guy's just expression looks a little bit off. See if I can find another one. Wow, there is like none. I'm also want to talk about this. See this white and yellow text? We're going to get into that soon, okay? Oh, and we're also going to talk about Phil McKnight, why he is an outlier later on. I love Phil McKnight the most in the world ever. I can't believe there's like no more AI thumbnails. This is unbelievable. It's not showing me any. Who's this guy? Never heard of this guy before. Actually, I think I just see him coming in the chat, did I? Milehouse, great to see you, mate. Thanks for coming in. OMG. Oh, I can't believe it. Right, I was not expecting this, but even Mr. Paul Davids looks like he's using it. That's an old video, but it looks like the thumbnail's changed just because he looks less realistic. But that's not a problem. Like, that looks legit. There we go. Right, okay. I need to find one, right? Scroll a bit more. This is embarrassing that I actually can't find the type of thumbnail that I was talking about. There's not one. I'm not joking you. Every day in my feed. There we go. There's one right there, right? This is the biggest AI. Oh, sorry. It's someone else we know. I hope he doesn't mind this, right? But this is like so much the fingerprint of it, right? You see this text here, the white and yellow. Oh, so, I'm so sorry. It's Ted Talks Guitars and Life. Again, Ted, if you see this, zero judgment whatsoever, right? Just want to highlight what they look like. So the white text, and then the yellow, see how it's got that slight lean and the slight italic, and it's really, they're all really high quality, right? Okay, right, I'll see if I can find any more. There might not be any more. There we go. Bad Brad, he's using them like all the time. There's a Bad Brad there. There's another one. By the way, Bad Brad, I also love his content. But yes, there we go. These are also, the reason we can tell, it's just it's highly stylized. And what I like about what Bad Brad does is, look, see, he's got the sunglasses on in the image, but then when you go into the video, it looks like him, right? It's a good, this is the whole thing with thumbnails. It's a representation of what your video is. It's your sales pitch for people to watch your video. Right, okay. I think I've shown enough of AI thumbnails. We're getting near the bottom of this. Is there any more? No, right, that's the end of the feed, right? I'm just going to refresh this one more time, just to see if any comes up straight away. It's all the same ones. All the same ones. But anyway, do people still feel like you can tell, or would you have known that the ones that I pointed out were AI? And it doesn't matter. Look, there's another AI one there, this one here. Just you could tell by the text and font. Does it matter? So the thing is, it's about the quality. I'm going to show you how to make one now, okay? Just before I show you how to make one, I'm going to catch up with the chat a little bit. And we're going to make one, where are we going to do it? We're going to go here, right? We're going to go into content. I'll pick a random video from years ago, but we'll go into here first, right? Okay. Hello, how are we getting on? What's everybody saying? Game changer. Yes, Anton, game changer indeed. Right, okay, a lot of people just chatting, that's good, that's good. Sorry, and thank you so much for giving me the space to kind of talk about this stuff. Much appreciated. Sure is green, thank you Budget Pedal chap. Yeah, that makes sense, because usually the generator would throw out white and yellow text, and I can show you where that comes from. Okay, right, let's just get into it. I'm going to make a thumbnail. What's CD Nelson? Several of these actually look like a combination of photos and AI. Yeah, all right, you mean some of the other ones there? Yeah, that's it. I mean, this is the thing. Look, it's AI and like generative AI. Because I'm not anti-AI, by the way, just I don't want that to come across. I'm using AI tools almost on the daily, and there are parts of AI that I use for my thumbnails as well, but they're not AI generated. And I'm not like being the thumbnail police or saying that this is right and this is wrong. I'm going to show you as we get on what kind of effect this will have on your channel of all sizes, okay? Sorry, Dan Levy, what are you saying? Some thumbnails are obvious and some not so much. You don't really care as long as the content is interesting. If it's not, I'll move on to the next video. Yeah, that's it. So we're going to get to that shortly, because that's a big part of what it means for creators as well. So exactly that, mate, yeah. If not, you'll move on to the next video. Yes, this is it. So, we're going to go here. we're going to make an AI thumbnail, right, using the tool that I think pretty much everybody's using. Do people ask if my glasses are AI? Yeah, they have done in the past, yeah. Right, okay, so here we go. I'm just going to pick a random older video, right, I'll go a little bit further back. And I have experimented with some AI thumbnails in the past, right, see if I can find one. Here we go, hiding the Washburn logo, Nuno's new thing. Right, okay, we'll try this. This one didn't do very well in views. I'm not going to stick with that, I'm just going to show you it. So, I'll click on the video, and I have a tool built into my YouTube studio, which loads of creators use. It's called vidIQ. That's it, just come up there. It just gives you a load of suggestions for titles, and it gives you a score. So like, yeah, I don't even like that title. That ending seems a bit AI to me. Pardon me. Yeah, I don't always make the best decisions myself. But anywho, here's what I'm going to show you. This is a new thing that vidIQ have added into their tools, and it's a quick generate thumbnail. One click and you'll get a thumbnail, right? So, what this does is it draws from the actual footage of your video. It scans through every frame. Well, I don't know about every frame, but it scans through all of your sort of content, and it picks out what it thinks will be the most effective, the most viral, right? And we'll get into that in a minute. So let's just click it, right, and see what happens, see what it comes up with. So it takes a wee while. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'll just chat while it's doing its thing. And it gives itself a score as well, and sometimes its score is not very good. And then you can edit it as well, and I'm going to show you about the editing. It was a fellow creator who put me onto this and says, and a friend of mine as well, says, try this out, you should try this. So I tried it, and I was like, I don't like this. And then I started seeing it everywhere. And I was like, oh, this is bad. This is really bad. So we'll let it come up. Now the thing is, this thumbnail is going to be super high quality visuals. Super high quality. That's what I expect to see. It's going to be better quality visuals than the original thumbnail. 100%. We're just waiting. Here we go. Right, okay, so interesting. So it's that was maybe a bad choice because it scanned the video, right? And I must have used clips of Nuno in there, and it's made a combination human of me and Nuno Betancourt into this person. And it looks like it's took some idea. Oh no, I would have had a still in the video, right? So this is a terrible one, okay? And look, here's one of the things it's done as well. See how it's done like a split screen. Because split screens are like a viral format, it's just thrown this in, even though there is no need for this to have a split screen in it. It's not a versus, it's not a shootout or anything like that. It's just thrown in that format because they usually perform well. So let's see if I can generate another one different, right? Because that was terrible, sorry. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe I'll have to go into another video in a minute. Let's read some comments. Word has it, I'm a hologram crazed fandango. That's, oh, crazed fandango is a hologram. He might well be. Well, he just said that he doesn't exist in the real world. Even all, you've tended to switch off if the thumbnail looks screaming AI. Yeah, this is it. This is exactly it. And this is what the poll says. And for people who are using AI thumbnails, channels of all sizes, like there we go, we've got another one. Right, look, perfect. So, it's Nuno again, right? It's not got me in there, but it doesn't look quite like Nuno. It kind of looks like a mix between Nuno and Danny Trejo or something. But look, you see this, the font here, white, yellow, right? It doesn't do the thingy, what do you call it, the flick thing, but it's not a bad thumbnail actually. It's decent. Okay, I'm going to go on another one that doesn't contain Nuno, right? Because that was maybe not a good example. Here's another one, right? Where did you see that one there? Here we go, £60 Amazon guitar. Let's try this. I want to get one where it's actually going to show like an AI version of myself in here and how that looks. Right, we'll give that a wee minute. See what that comes up with. Okay. Milehouse, if I click on a documentary history vid that's narrated by AI, I bin it off immediately and remove the channel from recommends. Slags. Exactly. Yes, this is it. It's a huge turn off, people, right? Whatever size your channel is, viewers do not enjoy. Perfect. This is so perfect, right? Okay. I don't mean it's a perfect thumbnail, right? But here we go. Oh, so good, right? Okay. So here's what I mean about it taken from your video, right? So it's went to the actual backdrop of my video. It's used that from the room. It's got me in there with this weird face and level up question mark. What does that mean? What does level up mean? Question mark. And £60 tick. Doesn't mean anything, right? But I'm seeing a lot of people, a lot of creators just go with whatever it tells you, whatever it's got there. They just go, oh, that looks great. Because they think about the visual of it. Like the high quality look of it, and you think, that's a brilliant looking thumbnail. Let's just go with that. Let's do it. That looks great. But your thumbnail is more about what it's trying to say rather than like the visual quality of it. Does that make sense? So anyway, there we go. Let's go into this one for a minute, right? I'm going to edit this one if I can, right? So it often gives you prompts as to, look, perfect, look at this, make it more vibrant, make the facial expression more intense, make it more energetic. One of the ones that it says is make it more viral. And I think this is the big temptation that a lot of people use, because who doesn't want a viral video? So let's click on this. We're going to make it more viral. See how long that takes. Make it more viral. It's so funny. Sorry. Jojo, you've used 1 or 2 AI thumbnails made using vidIQ, but nothing using your likeness, as it always looks horrifying. Yeah, that's it. It's weird, isn't it? Because it kind of takes weird parts of... Well, it kind of adds details of your face that aren't there. Like it makes up its own details. Right, perfect. This is so perfect. Right, do you see this? Do you see? Wait, what? £60 for this? £60? What? Right, okay. The problem is, everybody is doing this, right? Sorry, I don't mean to slag them, right? But and I'm not having a go at creators, right? I can see the appeal, because some people are not great at doing thumbnails, and these do produce super high quality thumbnails. See what you're talking about there, Jojo, about the characteristics. So for example, it's gave me a different colour eye. Like I've got blue-grey eyes. This is kind of like a yellowy green. But yeah, I mean, the likeness isn't too bad. But still, not great. Wait, what? Look, more viral, more exclamation marks. This is what it thinks more viral is, right? And it's gave it a bigger glow. It's interesting, right? So look, that's enough of that. That's how easy it is to create an AI thumbnail. I do not recommend you create them, but here, do it if you want. If you are going to create them, there is a hybrid approach that maybe I do recommend, right? What are people saying this? Sorry, just catching up a little bit. Let's bring this up just now so we can get away from that weird face. See, my face doesn't look so much like that, does it? A little bit. Jojo, your last couple of AI ones, you had to crop... Sorry, you're searching for tone, speaking to Jojo, you had to crop your face into it because they made you look worse. Yeah, that's it. It's not an exact likeness. That's one of the problems, isn't it? Michael Hennessy, all the best, Steve. Not interested in AI. The internet will soon be dead. Best wishes. See you later. No worries at all, Michael Hennessy. Thanks for coming in. Don't worry. Business as usual next week. I just had to do that. Steve is turning Japanese. I missed that one. Okay, looks like Frank Zappa. Yeah. AI is all right for boilerplate work, but in reality, if you're using AI for content, you can't claim any artistic integrity, and you're resigning yourself to be operated by the machine. There, that is a take, mate. That is certainly a take. IndioG, as long as the thumbnail isn't making a false statement or claim in any way, what does it hurt? Yeah, well, I'm going to show you how it hurts a little bit, right? Or my theory on how it hurts. Because this is a lot to do with viewer trust, I think. And not that people are misleading intentionally using them. Daryl, oh, you're speaking to Jojo as well. Okay. What if you keep putting make my expression more intense like 20 times? Yeah, it's a great point. It's Servatone, Steve, you should go back after the show and watch the replay of your live. You showed the AI thumbnail and then removed your cropped face. It was a bit hilarious how off vidIQ is. Oh, sorry, mate. I was watching your live stream last night, mate, but I dozed off because you were so boring. Nah, I'm all joking. It's like 2 in the morning for me, so I was dozing off. I was sleeping. No, I wasn't boring at all, mate. And thank you for fixing your sound effects noises as well. Right, okay, so anywho, what we're going to get into now, hold on, I'm going to go back to my notes. I've got a laptop up here and everything now. We've got very extra special things here. So what I said here is I'm actually trying to help the community here. I'm not a thumbnail expert, I'm not a thumbnail police, I'm not completely anti-AI either, but thumbnails are just such a huge part of the game here. So we've did the poll results, we've did what I'm noticing, right, okay, yes, we've looked at examples, how AI thumbnails are made, we've done that. So I'm going to show you the hybrid thumbnail process. I will do that in a minute. Right, so looking at examples, no, we did looking at examples. I'm going to tell you what I think about the problem with AI thumbnails. Oh, are we okay? Are we still online? It says the chat's disconnected. Are we okay? Is everything okay? CD Nelson, it takes quite a few prompts for it to get faces, especially facial hair, right? If you're going to go unhinged, go full tilt and have it make you look extra crazy, yes. Mine are the least fun. Okay. Right, we're still okay, good. So, here's the problem, right? Well, the AI thumbnail generator stuff is fantastic because, well, it's a tool, right? And what it's did is, like we just shown there, it doesn't matter the size of your channel, it has instantly leveled the playing field in terms of what we've all got access to now. And basically we can all create really high quality visual thumbnails now, whether you're Rob Chapman or I've even noticed bigger channels like Bernth is using them now as well, all the way down to people with like less than a couple of hundred subscribers, right? We can all access these thumbnails. Now the thumbnail is your sales pitch, and it's a representation of what your video actually is. Now the problem is, for some of these things, it's not so bad with a bigger channel because the quality has not improved dramatically, probably from what they were already doing in terms of thumbnails, and also their content quality itself is quite high level, production quality, because of how long they've been doing it, right? So for someone who's just started day one YouTube, and now they've got the same sort of chance of being seen as a huge channel, which is a great thing. I think it's great that it's fair and that everybody can be seen the same. But from the viewer point of view, if you're sort of presented with all these thumbnails of the same quality, and you go into sort of like a week one YouTube channel and you watch the video, you're probably going to be expecting high quality content, but it's not going to match the thumbnail. And this is more likely to make the viewer bounce. They're not going to stick around. The most important metric on YouTube at this point in time is viewer satisfaction. And a lot of that builds into, that could be watch time, not only watch time, but it could be watch time. It could be hitting like, hey, hit like by the way, hit like, subscribe, leaving a comment. And a big one is if they come back to your channel in their next session, the next time they open up YouTube and they come across your thumbnail, are they going to come back again, right? So if they have a bad experience, if they are disappointed by what they've seen in the thumbnail versus the content that they see, are they going to come back? Maybe yes, maybe no, right? But that might have, you know what, do you get the point that I'm making there? So it levels the playing field, which is good. Now, on the other side of the coin, let's say same viewer, because this thumbnail, the AI thumbnail vibe and sort of feel is very similar. So said viewer has now experienced this a lot, and then they come across a big channel. Maybe this is a new guitar player. They've only been playing guitar for 6 months or a year, and they're starting to consume YouTube content, and they're coming across Rob Chapman or Bern for the first time. Million subscribers, that kind of thing. Almost for Rob Chapman. And then they see the thumbnails that are the exact same quality as some of these lower quality videos that they've watched before, but now they're kind of trained to not click those thumbnails anymore, because I know what this kind of thumbnail's like. I click on that and the stuff's not very good, so I'm just going to skip that. I actually understand less why the bigger creators are using the AI thumbnails that look the same quality as week one channels. Why would they want to be their thumbnails to look the same? I don't understand that. If anything, they should be going like the way a lot of content is going now, trying to make things more real and more authentic. There are outliers, like I mentioned before, and this is the other thing with the AI thumbnail, right? What does AI draw from to make its thumbnails? So it's what we talked about. It draws from viral thumbnails, right? It's drawing from viral thumbnails. So what happens when everybody on the platform is producing viral thumbnails? Then what's viral? Nothing's viral anymore. Everything's viral and nothing's viral, potentially. It's just a sea of absolute... I will hold back. But I hope you get the drift and the point that I'm trying to make, right? Right, where we are. Lamb Live, easy solution. Let the AI generate the content and the thumbnail. The so-called artist becomes surplus to requirements. Hey mate, it's pretty much going that way already. Daryl W used ChatGPT and Dola. Both are fairly good for technical research, but not that good for stuff like this. It's really difficult to get exactly what you want. Really, apps like AI-assisted Photoshop are best. I'm kind of with you there, yeah. Sorry, IMA640 agrees with Chris Otterwell. So I want to know what Chris Otterwell says. There he goes. Nobody knows this fix. The one scale to make you a great guitarist. You need to do this one thing. Everybody does this wrong. It's all bollocks and it puts you off, not necessary. Yeah. So that's another thing. Look, once we've done this stream, and if you've got any value out of it, and if you think this is something, I would maybe do this like, I don't know, twice a year or something. A deep dive, bit of a more serious thing, a bit more commentary on things that I see as a creator. I think an interesting one to do down the road would be titles, and that's what you're talking about there is titles. So yeah, Shrenfin, unfortunately those buzzwords work for the masses. Communities like this are in the minority. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Paul Crane's in the house, good to see you, mate. Robbie F, are are thumbnails analysed by the algorithm? Do they impact how to whom your videos get recommended? That's a good question. I mean, the algorithm does see your thumbnail. Does it know that it's AI generated? I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. And if it did, I don't know what effect that would have. Maybe if it, I mean, the algorithm is very sophisticated in that it knows what to serve what viewer. So possibly if the algorithm detects, I'm just making things up here. If it detects a thumbnail style, vibe, that viewers don't click on, it won't serve it to those people in the future. Maybe, possibly. Search for Tone, the bigger channels really don't need them, you think? I think the ones using it are feeling a lull in their channel and feel like they need to shake up. Exactly, yes. So I can see the appeal of why people are using them, right? So like I said, one click. And we've all been talking about it before, how it is harder these days to get views than it was in the past. The algorithm changes, things fluctuate, views go up and down seasonally, whatever. Lots of different reasons for it. AI is part of it, not just AI thumbnails, but there's a lot of variables and things you can talk about. And yeah, the big channels do feel it. Like there was something that went out the other week, or maybe it was longer than that ago. They were like Mr. Beast, who's the biggest creator on the platform. His views were down 50% last year or something like that. He's been trying to get his views up and whatnot, just like everybody else. But yeah, some of these huge channels that don't get the views that they once did, they're going to try new stuff and think these AI thumbnails, this might be the thing that's going to help me get views again. So I totally understand why people do it. The thing is, the bigger channels understand the thumbnail psychology better. So not only is the thumbnail visual quality high, but the actual reason to click is more apparent. right? They're kind of better at that. They'll tweak it a little bit more and make it more, what's the word? Give it more intrigue so that people want to click. So they're better there. They've got a better chance there. I can't remember what I was going to say about that. Right, okay, what's the next section? Right, I am now going to show you how I make a thumbnail, right? And I'm going to do it via a bad example. I'm going to show you some mistakes that people make, right? Because the problem isn't you were doing a certain kind of thumbnails before and now you do AI ones and they're better because the quality is better. It's not just a case of that. The AI thumbnails also bring in some rules, best practices that maybe people weren't considering before, that they weren't doing in the previous thumbnails. And maybe if they just put some of these best practices into their old style thumbnails, they will look less AI and potentially be more effective than the AI thumbnails that are starting to, according to the poll and my own sort of instincts, put people off, put viewers off. So here's what I'm going to show you. Here we go. Right, we're back into that. There we go. So this was one of the ones that I mocked up for doing as one of the poll options, right? So that's terrible. What I'm going to show you is this, right? I'm going to start here, right, with some of the things that I see in thumbnails that people do, right? I've went like super basic. I've broke all the rules in this thumbnail. Let me know in the chat if you can spot any improvements we can make to this thumbnail. I know we've got a lot of creators in here, so if anybody spots anything that they think might be helpful, we can show you, right? So this is the starting point. Now, we need to talk about what the video is. So let's imagine that this is a review on the Harley Benton Fusion 4. I'm just mentioning that because I've just done one recently, okay? And I'm going to show you my hybrid approach as well. This software that I'm using here, this website is called Canva. It's free, but I do use the paid version, which has extra AI tools, which is like, it does have, yeah, some AI tools in here, which I'm going to use, and I'm going to show you how I'm not anti-AI. I'm still using AI in part for my thumbnail, but it's not generating the idea, if that makes sense, okay? Right, see what people are saying. CD Nelson, you're not really chasing views, but by the same token, you don't want your vids to just sit there and do nothing. 100%, yeah. You try to tweak what is suggested to you, even if it doesn't score as well as the auto one. Yeah, that's another thing that I could possibly do another deep dive on in future, is how actual useful the vidIQ scoring system is. Because don't treat it as gospel. It would be my experience with it. Like you might have a thumbnail, a title, right? And you'll say, this Harley Benton Fusion is great. And I'll give you a score of 35. And then you'll say, right, let's try something else. This Harley Benton is insane! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Oh, now your score's a 60. Because vidIQ, it works in the same way as the AI for the thumbnails. Anyway, right, here we go, right, let's get into it. So, I know that I'm covering up some of the corner of this, and that's actually part of the point. So, there's a lot of rules getting broken here. Let's see what people are saying. Miles says it made you feel ill. I'm sorry about that, mate. Remove the guitar and have a bikini model, instant clicks. That might work, yes. Instagram is full of AI-generated cat and dog videos that, yeah, I know, that's crazy. That's another thing, isn't it? Less words and no need to use words that are going to be in the title. Yeah, that's a good one. So if you're going to say insanely epic, you can remove it from the thumbnail. That's good as well. And a tit on a strat. Gold, nice. Insanely epic font is tough. Well done, this is good, yeah. You never know what text to put in the thumbnail versus the title. Perfect, this is great. Sorry, that was just a good question, Jojo, yeah. Rough. And well, it doesn't look cohesive. It looks like a bunch of unconnected bits. Yes, 100%. Right, okay, so here's what I'm going to do, right? I'm just going to show you a little bit more of this, right? Get a bit more context. I'm going to change the background color just so you can see the elements a bit more. Right, here we go. That's a bit clearer as to what's going on here. Right, so here's the first part of AI that I'm going to use, right? And this is part of the, what do you call it? How do I do this? Yeah, this is part of the Canva paid for version, right? By the way, I'm not affiliated with any of these vidIQ or Canva or anything like that. I'm just going to remove the background, right? So remove background, there you go, there's me here now, right? So a lot of people do this, they have themselves in the corner there, right? Pointing isn't the worst thing to do, sometimes it's handy, sometimes it helps. Sometimes people need a little hand of what to point to. So I've removed the background right now. I'm also going to remove the background of the guitar, so that pops out a little bit more. Where do we do that? There we go, background remover. I don't think the free version has that, I don't think, right? Okay, now some people mentioned that the font is hard to read. This is a huge mistake that I see a lot of channels using. Not just font hard to read, but also not using a different font too often as well. If you want to have, like, if you want yourself to be a channel brand, or if you want to have any sort of recognition when people come back and see your thumbnail again and think, oh, I've seen one of these before and I liked it, they need to see some sort of repetition. So using the same font is a handy thing you can do. If you're using the AI generated font, it's going to look the same as everybody else's, so it's probably not a good idea. Right, so what I'm going to do is, another mistake that I see a lot of channels making is they'll look for a clever angle, right? Now, you only get about 1 second, around about 1 to 2 seconds, maybe even less than that, for a viewer to decide if they want to watch your video or not based on your thumbnail, right? So it's got to be super clear. And what a lot of creators I see doing is they try to be too clever. And I used to do this too a lot. And I would try to be funny and create clever jokes, ha ha ha. So I'm going to show you, right? So this is the Harley Benton Fusion. So I've got a great idea for a background because this is pretty plain, isn't it? So I'm going to go into this elements here, right? And I'm going to search for a cold fusion reactor, right? Because it's a fusion guitar, isn't it? So that would be cool if I could make that related. There's some photographs. When you've got the paid for version of Canva, you can use these. There you go. This looks like a cold fusion reactor. Brilliant. I'm going to use that. Right, so here we go. I'm going to make that the whole background. There we go. Look at that. That looks brilliant. Right, and I'm going to move that to the back layer. Sorry. Send to back. There we go. Now we're talking. Right, I'm joking, by the way. Right, I've moved that to the back, and I'm also going to lock it. Lock its position. Where am I? Lock. Right, great, that's fine. So, here's more mistakes that we see. Right, so now this background's too busy and there's just too much going on in the thumbnail in general, right? Let's quickly change this font to something more legible, right? Just going to go over the first one that looks decent. Anton, there you go, that works well. There's another Anton, right, great, perfect. Right, another mistake that a lot of creators make is down here, right? You can't see for me. See if I can move myself, hold on. I'm just going to move myself right here, whoops. Whoops, that was the wrong one, I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to move myself, there we go, right, so if I move out the way, see, putting any text down here, this is not a good idea because on your YouTube video, the time stamp goes down here, not the timestamp, like the duration of the video, and it covers up whatever is in this corner. So don't put anything down in that corner, bad idea. You're not going to see it, it's a waste. If you're going to use that at all, let's use it over here, whoops. There we go, right? We're not going to use it over there because that's stupid, right? So I'm going to put myself back into position. Whoops, done it again. There we go, I'm in the corner here, right? So it's out of the corner anyway, right? So what else can we do? Too much going on, right? First thing that another thing people do is they put their logo in the thumbnail. There is no point in having your logo in the thumbnail. Your logo comes up next to your channel. You don't need your logo in the thumbnail. Let's delete that. We're going to start making this thumbnail better really quickly, right? Hold on, I'm just waiting to resize this a bit. Can I do that? I think I can't because it's locked. Hold on, unlock it. Bear with me, right? This is only going to take a minute. Ah, sorry, this thing's in the way. I'm trying to do this. That's what I'm trying to do. Sorry. Right, bring it back up. Here we go. Here we go. We're back. We're back in the game. We're back in business. Right, okay, so this background is stupid, right? If you really, really, really have to use that background, what we're going to do is let's darken it a lot. So I'm going to go into here and I'm going to go into edit. We're going to adjust it, right? It's just too much going on. So I'm going to take the brightness all the way down. I'm going to add a vignette. There we go, right? Shadows, I can't remember if I want that up or down. I want them down to nothing. There we go. We're starting to get a bit more contrast. I still don't think we should have a cold fusion reactor in here because it's pretty stupid. But anyway, oh no, we don't want that either. I'll get rid of that. Add the blacks. Right, it's almost got enough that contrast. They want that upper. There we go, look. You can barely see anything now to the point where it's actually pointless having it in there. But now at least we can see the stuff in here better. Milehouse, you feel personally attacked. I don't want anybody to feel attacked, right? This is just, look, like I said, I honestly want to help. If anybody is thinking of using AI thumbnails, you might not have to. And I'm not saying my thumbnails are better than AI thumbnails. They're just thumbnails that might be more optimized, right? So here's the next thing. The most important thing in this thumbnail is the guitar, right? So a lot of people do the guitar too small, right? We've got Harley Benton here. Do we need the headstock? Probably not, right? Let's make this bigger, right? How big we're going to make it, right? Is that too big? That's maybe about right. Okay, the quality of this image actually isn't too great, but why is that squint? There we go, right, okay. Actually, I think maybe you do want a bit of squint. Now, here's something you may or may not notice, right? This guitar is slightly at an angle, right? I can kind of see like this side is a little bit further back than this one. That's why we can see the side here, right? So this kind of looks like I'm pointing to the back of the guitar. This is the kind of things that I obsess over, details like this, right? And I don't want to point in the back of the guitar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself here and I'm going to flip myself around horizontally and I'm going to put myself to the other side. Now I'm pointing at, this makes more sense to me, right? Small details make sense in my opinion, right? Robbie F, are you off? All right, mate. Thank you, mate. Thanks for coming in. Right, so we're going to keep that there. Right, now another thing that people like is, as much as you maybe don't want to do this, I'm not always cool doing this, but people respond best to human faces. Human faces, right? So getting yourself in there, if you want to be the brand of your channel, which is the way I've did things for my channel, then it's very important that you're in the thumbnail. Look, Paul, if you're still here, Milehouse Studios, he'll probably be able to tell you because he's a great example. I'm not sure how many Paul will have like this, but Paul, how many of your thumbnails, if you went to your like most popular, is there any of them that you're not in that are in like the top 5, 6, whatever? The way I see it, Paul is the draw of his channel. You can't not have him in the thumbnail. And there's a lot of channels like that as well. Just an opinion. Like I said, I'm not a thumbnail guru, far from it. Right, okay. So the next thing I'm going to do here is we're going to brighten up this image of both myself and the guitar a little bit, right? So I'm in the guitar. Let's put the brightness up a bit. Is this misleading? Maybe a little bit. I'm just trying to make the thumbnail pop a bit more. Saturation is the color. I'm going to put that up a little bit. Vibrance up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of sharpness and a little bit of clarity. There we go. Most of the times I'm just kind of maximizing. I want things to pop out. Shadows, that's kind of fine. There we go. I'm going to bring down the highlights a little bit and bring the brightness up again, right? That's already kind of popping a little bit better against the background than it was. Actually, I should have kept the old thumbnail so you can see the difference. Anywho, where are we at? So that'll do. And you know what? I might also add a glow as well. That's a kind of popular thing to do. It's maybe a bit of a dated thing to do, but we'll do it anyway. So I am going to add a glow down here. And let's just get into this. Intensity, I like to put that up to about 90. Pick a color. I'll just go white just to make it easy. Actually, let's make it just a little bit yellow. Just a little bit, not a lot. There we go, makes it a bit warmer. Right, blur amount, how much do we want to blur it? Not too much, and we want it a lot smaller. Just a slight thing to make it pop a bit more. Right, that'll do. There we go, a wee blur. See how long this is taking me? It's like, because I'm explaining it's taking longer. But anyway, there we go. There's a guitar. That's good enough, right? It'll do for now. It's certainly better than what we had, right? Insanely epic. Hyperbole words. We probably don't need that. Fusion 4, maybe. It depends if you're going to have it in the title or not, but we don't want too many elements. Speaking of elements, something I mentioned is the rule of 3. Milehouse Studios, you're in all of them. That's the smart move, mate. That's exactly what you should have. I wouldn't recommend doing the test, but if you didn't put yourself in one and seeing how the video performed, don't do it. It's not worth it. But I'm pretty confident that it would not perform as well. It depends on how good the thumbnail is on its own, but if you know how the algorithm works, the important thing is getting caught by the algorithm in the first place. So the first test is your regular viewers and your subscribers. If they don't click on the thumbnail when it gets put out, it does not get cast wider. So if Paul put out a thumbnail and he wasn't in it, and his viewers seen it, and a lot of them didn't know it was his, so there's like just another thumbnail, don't click on it, it might not get a chance to grow like it normally would. Anywho, so I'm happy with this, right, but there's too much. So the rule of 3, you should only have 3 elements in your thumbnail, right? This is a little bit of a, it's a big guideline, not so much a hard rule, but the rule of 3 is a big thing. Any more than that is too much. So let's fix myself a little bit here as well, because I don't look too great. Now, you've probably noticed that in my videos, I colour grade quite heavily, right? Even in this live stream, the colours are quite bright, and that was a decision based on the thumbnail. I knew my thumbnails were going to be oversaturated because I want to stand out, but I don't want people to click on the video and then get like a grey, boring, dull kind of look, flat look. So I want my thumbnail to be super, super high contrast, but I want when I'm getting the video for it to be a continuation of that rather than a disappointment sort of thing. So it's I want it to look more accurate to what I've got going on, right? So here we go. Let's just, right, what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to up the saturation. Here's something that happens a lot that's not good with mine. When I add the saturation, it makes my face quite red because I do have a red face. So I'm just going to bring that red colour down a little bit and add the brightness up with that a little bit. There we go. Look, you can see how I make my thumbnails. I also up the contrast quite a bit. There we go. I'm going to add in the saturation again, so we'll get a bit more blue. I can maybe add a bit more colour here, and a little bit of sharpness, a little bit of clarity, and that's pretty much close to what I would normally do. Actually, it's maybe a little bit much. Let's pull back that saturation a bit, and we'll do the same thing. Let's put a little glow on it as well. Actually, yeah, let's go here. Sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. Apologies. Right, I'll do a slight glow. Let's make it white. I should really match the other one in terms of colour, but I can't be bothered. And I don't want it to glow more than the guitar because the guitar should be the star of the show, but this just separates me from the background a little bit. Okay, next thing we're going to do, Harley Benton. How important is it to have this here? It depends on the brand, it depends on what the video is about. I am going to change this up a little bit so I can fit that logo in a bit better. So I might do, can I get more here? Yeah, I'm going to do this so that I can make this logo, put it behind me, which is a hugely popular thing to do with the AI thumbnails at the moment. Right, if I can move myself over a little bit here, then it might be more recognisable what that is, but I don't want it to be too obvious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it quite transparent in the background, quite subtle, to the point where no one will barely see it. They might subconsciously see it. There we go. Right, now, next thing is, I'm going to get rid of Fusion 4, because that's just, don't think we need it. Now, here's another thing that I see often happening, also in AI thumbnails and in people's normal thumbnails. What I was saying before, it's not about the visual quality of your thumbnail, it's about what your thumbnail says, right? What it's trying to say. So, there is a mismatch here already. I don't know if you can tell what it is. Can anybody tell what the mismatch is? What's anybody saying here? Steve looks like I've just asked someone to pull his finger. You need to be holding the milestone little hand pointer. Yeah, that would probably do well in the thumbnails as well. Glenn Michael Thompson from Montreal, Canada. Cheers for coming in, mate. So you came in, if this is your first time here, at a weird stream. This is a one-off thing that I never normally do. I'm trying something different. But anywho, here's where we're at. So, is anybody spotting the mismatch of what's going on here? There's something that is not working a lot in this thumbnail. Big mismatch, and it's really obvious to me. See if anybody spots it. I'm going to get a wee drink. And by the way, any feedback on this so far? Is anybody getting anything out of this? BPC, rule of 3, hold 3 things in each 3 of your hands. Yeah, you could do that with an AI thumbnail. I might give you 3 hands. Hello Rody, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Budget Pedal Chat, you're noticing a distinctive lack of lightning in this thumbnail. That's it. There's a lot of lightning going on in some of the thumbnails that I've been seeing. These are the first ones that I noticed. CD Nelson, think it's a great conversation. Great stuff, mate. CD Nelson, you're a creator too, aren't you? Actually, why are you not a mod? Need to fix this. Do you have a channel? Let me know if you've got a channel. Jojo Fry, facial expression. Yes, indeed. Well, the facial expression is not in line with Insanely Epic. Even although Insanely Epic is stupid words in the first place, this doesn't say Insanely Epic, does it? I don't think it does. So people notice this stuff and they're like, I don't know. CD Nelson, you do have a channel, right? Let me fix that for you, mate. Ah, okay. You're a visual artist, right? Well, mate, I am not a visual artist, right? I'm an absolute hack who's just been making this up as I go along for the past 3 years, right? So let us know. I'm no doubt I'll be doing a lot of stuff wrong here. Add as moderator. Here we go. Standard moderator. Right, there we go. CD Nelson, put a link to your channel in the chat and people can check out your thing. Right, so Insanely Epic does not go with this facial expression, which to me looks like kind of skeptical maybe, right? So maybe just, let's do this. This is another thing that people get wrong as well, is putting too many words in the thumbnails, right? Remember, we've already got too many things in this thumbnail, right? I'm going to copy this as is, right? And then we're going to compare it to that in a minute. So we can go further with this, right? At the moment, I think this background is doing absolutely nothing. This cold fusion reactor, which is pointless. So I'm just going to get rid of that. Whoops. And let's just make the thumbnail, what, black? Let's just go black thumbnail. There we go. Right. Now, it depends entirely on the video, right? And the content, right? I think for a video like this, right, and the timing, when Harley Benton have just brought out a new Fusion 4, it's a good idea to have Harley Benton in the thumbnail. It's a good idea to have the logo there. And by the way, always use a logo when you're talking about a brand. If you're saying Fender, Squire, Gibson, PRS, anything, always use their logo. People recognize brands and logos and you want them to see them. If you just type it, it's not as effective. Maybe Glenn Michael Thompson can tell us if I'm right on that, because I could be wrong. But if this was now, and it depends if I say Harley Benton in the title, maybe you do. Maybe the people who are going to see this are going to recognize this as being a Harley Benton Fusion. I don't know. There's a lot of context in here. The thumbnail on its own is usually not enough to tell the whole story, so it's not really fair to just judge it all on the thumbnail itself. It's a whole package. The package is thumbnail, title, and the video content itself. The intro, the hook, the first like sort of 7 to 30 seconds is its own couple of things, but bigger than all of that is the idea in the first place. You've got to have a good idea for your video. IMA640, Steve, have your eye line 1/3 down from the top and 1/3 of the way from the side. Yeah, we can actually do that. You can do the rule of thirds as well. That's a good one. And you can actually add that into Canva as well. You can put the show rulers and guidelines. Is it this? I think it is that. No, that's the wrong one. Let me go back into that there. We want to show margins. Yes. No, we don't want to show margins. What is it I'm looking for? Add guides. There we go. Sorry, get rid of that. Add guides. That's what I want. So 3x3, that's what I want. So yeah, look, see where my eyes are placed there? That's pretty much bang on. It should be a little bit higher. Where have they went? They went away already. But that's what you call the rule of thirds, having sort of like 3 elements in the screen. So there's 1, 2, 3. That's it's loosely there, right? Excuse me. So I'm going to get rid of this Harley Benton logo. I don't know if anybody will remember where we started with this thumbnail, but remember what I said at the start. Now that I've moved that, I'm always open to change things, right? So I can make myself a little bit bigger now. And the more face, the better, right? And that's only because it's my face. I'm only joking, right? But the more face, the better, really. Human face, AI face, probably not so much going by the feedback we're getting these days. So there we go. Now I'm too big. I'm stealing a bit of too much limelight from the guitar, so I'm going to make myself a bit smaller now. It's always a kind of back and forth the way I do these things. So there we go. We want, and I want to be pointing at that legit a bit more, and the guitar. And there we go. There we go. Let's get a wee. I don't need that bottom strap button so much. There we go. Right, we've got a bit more guitar in there now. Yeah, bring it in a bit more negative space is good as well. Right, we're breaking the rules a little bit now because everything isn't. Oh no, that actually is perfectly centered. There we go. Boom. Right, there we go. Does that look better than this one that had a little bit of extra stuff in it? The logo. It looks cleaner. So remember what I said. The viewer has 1 to 2 seconds to decide on whether it wants to click on your thumbnail or not. So it has to be, number one, clear. It has to be super clear what your video is about. Right now, I think, personally, that this video here, I mean, it's always hard for me to tell when it's my own video and my own thumbnail because I get too far into it and I can't see it sort of from the outside, so I might be getting this totally wrong. In fact, going by my views, there's a very good chance that I do get it wrong and that I make mistakes in thumbnails all the time. Right, so, what we're saying here is, what we're saying? I can't remember what we're saying. We're talking about thumbnails for some reason. But yeah, so it's got to look super clear. So for me, this has got the 3 elements, right? It says here, this guy, who I may or may not have seen before, is talking about this guitar. And I could tell straight away from the facial expressions, because humans recognize facial expressions instantly. This guy looks doubtful. He's legit. He's asking, is this guitar legit? So I think that all comes across pretty clearly and quickly in that thumbnail. That's what I think, right? And whatever the thumbnail, whatever the title is, has to support that. It probably has to do more heavy lifting than the thumbnail. In fact, you could argue that the title is more important than the thumbnail. It's a hard one, it depends. Anywho. Excuse me. Now, legit, I might change this colour of legit, right? The reason that I'm going to do that is because it's too trendy. And I've overused it myself. It's the yellow that everybody uses, and I'm going to show you where that comes from as well. I'm going to try and do something a little bit more stylized here, and I am going to go into the colour, right? And I'm going to pick a colour based on this. I'm not going to do any of these. I'm actually going to pull a really light colour from the fretboard, like that. There we go. Right. It doesn't pop as much. Actually, it's probably better the way it was. Yeah, maybe white's better. I don't know. There's something about black and yellow that just always works really well, and it does actually contrast well against the purple. I think the yellow actually does really work in there. I'm not going to take it away just because it's too trendy. Maybe change the colour of legit. Yeah, you just said that. There we go. I mean, another thing we suppose we could try is like a really light. There you go. I mean, that's... It doesn't pop as much because there's a lot of blue and purple going on. There's a lot of options we can do. That's too close to the guitar. There's kind of like what we had. Red is never a good idea. Maybe unless you had a white background or something like that. But there you go. There's just straight up white. I think that's a bit stark. I think where we were before, the yellow actually did look best, even although it's a bit too samey to all the other thumbnails that are out there. So that might not help it go. Right, so there we go. There's the previous one, and then there's the AI thumbnail. Now, I'm not denying for a second that this is a higher quality thumbnail, right? But it just looks off, right? For a start, my glasses aren't right. I don't look right. The guitar neck isn't long enough. There's lightning going on that doesn't need to be there. When I go into the Starcaster fixed, but how? Was it broken? Was your guitar broken? Why do I even care? You know what I mean? It gives me like no value whatsoever. So there we go. Ah, Server Tone, a hammer-on hero member for 3 months. Thank you so much, mate. Legit seems meaningless. Exactly, mate. Because we don't have a title to back it up. We need a title to give it more context. So yeah, what could the title be that would sort of make this more, make it make more sense? Let me think. Any ideas? Let's spitball it, as they say. Let me think. Legit, yeah. But legit is a bit vague, isn't it? Why everyone is talking about these budget guitars? Why is everyone talking about these budget guitars? Something like that. And then the legit kind of like supports the title rather than just being a thing on its own. you're right, it doesn't make sense on its own. It is important for a thumbnail on its own to make sense, to do a lot of the heavy lifting, but the title is so much more important. Craze Fandango believes the AI one is better. You know what, I'm not going to lie. The AI one in terms of visual quality is better, but what we're trying to say in terms of what the video is about. The thing is here, once you get into the video, it's got to be, the thumbnail has got to be a good representation of what your video is actually about. Is my video about guitars and lightning and stuff? No, it's not. I mean, that's not being very fair, sorry, but you get the idea, right? So anyway, there's how I do a thumbnail with a little bit of AI in there as well. So I'm using the AI background removal tools. It's not my best thumbnail ever, right? I mocked it up from the start point. I wish I kept the start point, which was not great. I just had a load of kind of random stuff on there. So some of the mistakes we had stuff in the bottom corner that gets covered up by the timestamp. We had a font that is hard to read. It's not legible, it's too complicated. We brightened up the colours of things. There was too many elements on screen. There was a lot of redundancy. There was a logo that didn't need to be there. I was on the wrong side, pointing at the back of the guitar. I was too small, made myself bigger. We put in some kind of daft joke that doesn't make any sense. We simplified it, and we stuck to the rule of 3 and boosted the colours a little bit. Personally, I'd probably put something a little bit extra in the background to make it more interesting. You may have noticed that's why I did the, what do you call it? That's why I did the, I do the purple sort of stone wall background thing. I just pulled that randomly one day, and I just stuck with it. And I'm hoping it becomes part of like a kind of brand style of thumbnail, so it makes them more recognisable. But anyway, right, here we go. Will the Fusion 4 make you a better lover? Probably. Here we go. Harley Benton Fusion 4, Too Far. I've did Too Far before and it actually worked really well. That's a good one, yeah. What's the video about? Affordable quality, exactly. That is it, yeah. Which one actually? Is it too legit? Is it legit? Does it need, is that not redundant? See, the less you can put in, the better. We could do is it legit, but it's more words to read. You could be onto something. I'll put it in just so we can see what it looks like, but I think it just makes it look messier. Whoops. Right, and now it's kind of fighting a little bit more, the guitar and the space. What we could do to try and make it a little better is I'll go into the text and I'll try and make it a bit closer so it's a bit tighter. Yeah, I personally think the is it is legit and sort of just overcomplicates it more than it needs to be. Like I said, less than 2 seconds people are deciding on the thumbnail. You'd be surprised that 2 extra words reading when you're looking at a sea of thumbnails. I think this is cleaner. Even though it might not make sense. Like I said, you need the title there. What else have we got? Will the Fusion 4 make you a better lover? That's good. Harley Benton Fusion 4 review. What's wrong with that? Actually nothing, Chris Otterwell. And it's actually a really good strategy to do for search. But I wouldn't start, I mean, people say now that SEO, which is search engine optimization on YouTube, is dead. It's not a thing anymore. It's pretty much all going by recommended these days. So although it's accurate, that title, Harley Benton Fusion 4 review, that's good if someone's searching for it like years down the line. And if I found like an old Squire guitar from the 90s that I got on eBay that's a bit rare, then I'll probably make a big deal of it in the thumbnail first. When it first goes out, getting something that will hopefully get clicks like, I'll just say it's the Squire Esprit, right? The Master Series, it's quite rare. Squire Master Series Esprit review, right? That makes sense down the road if someone's looking for that. You might get SEO views. But when you first make the video, if you want to come up on search, you have to do something a bit more sort of intriguing. So why don't they make this Squire guitar anymore? The best Squire guitar, no. this might be the best square they don't make anymore. Something like that. Does that make sense? And people are like, oh, what is it? Especially if you have it in a box or blurred out or something like that, or just the headstock. People will be like, oh, what is that? And if the video is good, then they might come back. If the video is not good, they might feel a bit cheated, you know what I mean? Or if the video doesn't deliver. If the video, like if the squire's crap, if it's a terrible guitar, if it's got loads of issues and the frets are popping out, it doesn't really deliver on what you said. You're saying it might be the best. Why don't they make this anymore? And then it's actually got loads of problems. That's clickbait. That's clickbait 101 right there. But I think it is a good strategy to do the title like I suggested to start with. And then once it's flatlined, like once you stop getting views on it, months down the road or weeks down the road, days down the road, then it might be a good idea to change your title to a more search optimization, a more SEO type title. Legit or shit, that could work as well. Put legit less straight, put a curve in it. Yeah, I could do a curve. Would the curve make sense? I mean, or we could even do that. Look, there you go, is that enough? You could do that, or you could actually curve it, or both. Sorry, I should get this off of the screen. Right, that's enough of this, isn't it? Right, sorry, we looked at that for far too long. We're looking at my face. There you go, there's my face again. It's a break from my face. Right, I'm going to go back to my notes and see if I managed to cover everything. Right, here's a couple of things I want to show you. Fusion, confusion, rexematic. See, that seems like a good idea because it's a kind of joke, but there has to be something confusing. In the video, there has to be something confusing about the fusion. It has to be really built into the video, and this is the biggest mistake that most people make with thumbnails. Long pause while he drinks water. IMA 640, brilliant. 12-inch radius again. Ah, nice one. Okay, the biggest mistake that people make with thumbnails. Now we've got creators in here. Let us know if you do this. You only start working on the thumbnail and the title at the end. Once the video is done, filmed, almost uploaded, and then you start thinking about the thumbnail and title. Right, Glenn Michael Thompson, hold on. I know what you mean. I'll go and do it now, quickly. I'll put so a curve. I can do a curve, yes. Do you want it up the way or down the way? What way do you want it? Where's my edit? Is it in effects? Maybe in effects. Yeah, here we go. Where is it? There we go, curve. There you go. So we can do it. How do we change this again? Oh yeah, there it is. So we can go like that. That kind of works. Or you can go that way. You can do whatever you want. So there you go. There's a slight curve on it. Is that enough? There you go. I personally think that makes it slightly less legible, but it's a bit more stylized, a bit more fun. So yeah, that could work as well, but fun might not fit this facial expression. But yeah, see, I absolutely obsess over this stuff, completely. I've just remembered, because Graham Campbell's just said, Graham and Jojo mentioned I can look at their thumbnails, so I'll maybe do that, if that's okay. Right, so let's come out of this. There we go. So, keeping things simple. Right, let's, so, Graham Campbell, are you okay with me having a look at your thumbnail? I don't know if Jojo's still here, but if there's time, we'll do Jojo's as well, and she can watch on catch up if she wants. Excuse me. Excuse me. Budget pedal chat. Why am I calling you out so blatantly here? As the video uploads, it's the 10 minutes I work on the thumb. Ah, exactly. Right, there you go. So, see, it's like I was saying, there are outliers, right? So, BPC, budget pedal chap. Oh, Jojo's still here. Excellent. I'll do both then, right? Jojo, I'll do yours first because I know sometimes you don't like to stay too late. So I'll do yours in just a minute, I promise. But we'll get back to the outliers shortly. But BPC, you've also got a format which makes it easier as well. And it's part of your branding as well. You have the pedal in the video. Is it on the right? I think that's right. And then the text taking up most of the screen on the other side. And you rarely put yourself in the thumbnails. Sometimes you do, but it just depends on whether that's a part of your branding or not. It doesn't have to be. So yeah, yours all works. Right, let's go into, let's have a look at some thumbnails. Right, so we'll start with Jojo. Hold on a second here. There's Jojo's channel. Right, wait a minute, I need to put the screen on. Right, here we go. Okay, I wish I could make these bigger. They're quite small. Oh, I watched, did I watch it? I watched it all. There you go, your trip to the guitar shop the other day. Does this make them bigger? This makes them a little bit bigger, okay. Excuse me. Right, okay, I'm going to change the screen a little bit to try and make them bigger. Hold on. Right, that makes them a bit bigger. Actually, let's do, we don't really need that now. Okay, that's a bit bigger. I'll try and make it bigger still, sorry, hold on. Thank you for your patience. Right, okay. Excuse me. Excuse me, right, okay. We'll start with this one here on your most latest one, Jojo. So, what I noticed with this one is, wait a minute, wait, I think I need to see the title as well. We'll talk about titles too, why not, right? So, it's a long title, but it's accurate. It is accurate, right? 45-minute video. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing is the lighting is, it's quite, the faces on both you and, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, are a bit sort of washed out with the light. There's quite a bit of light on them, so I would possibly turn the brightness down a little bit. If you use Canva, which I would recommend, you can actually go into like the whites and you can take them down a little bit. You could bump the shadows up, which will help sort of give you, I would up the contrast as well. Yes, and probably add in, excuse me, to the colours. Hold on, can I show you here, right? Wait a minute, this might be ruined now. Excuse me, that's too big now, right? But I'm going to show you what I mean. See if I can show you this. Will this work? It's not going to work. It's not going to work because you can't see it now. Sorry, I've ruined the thing. I'll go back to it, right? There's a thing on Canva, right, where it shows you a little swatch of the colours that are in your thumbnail. It picks them up and you can sort of detect that colour, and I would add in a little bit more, maybe amber to the skin tones, to the white, make it a little bit darker, sorry. There's actually a line called vibrance. I would probably boost the vibrance a little bit more. Excuse me. Another thing I'm noticing just now that I'm looking at it is, sorry, my throat is going, apologies. It's good that we can see the shop. I think you've done the right thing there, and that you're in the thumbnail. You need to be in the thumbnail, so that's good, so that your regular viewers know to click on it. Excuse me, sorry. The Music Depot, I probably would have tidied up that logo a little bit. Like I would have removed the background, maybe kept the white part in it, but just had the black part with a bit of glow behind it, rather than the sort of a cut out square. Excuse me. But now I'm wondering, the guy is holding like a small Les Paul thing. I remember seeing it in the video, but it's not aligned with the title. So the title is saying, could a Faith guitar be my next electroacoustic? I would probably want to see the electroacoustic in there. In fact, I've seen you in the shop, you try out 3 guitars, don't you? So it would maybe make more sense to have a still of you playing one of the acoustic guitars. And one of the things you could do on Canva as well is you can do, well, if you've got the paid version, it's a really great tool called Magic Grab, where you can pull yourself from the background as a separate element, and you could sort of adjust the contrast on that, make that pop a little bit more. And the background, as long as it still looks like a guitar shop, but you can maybe bring the brightness of that down a little bit, take away some of the colour, maybe even blur it a little bit. Still make space for the Music Depot. And the guitar shop, and you're going with the yellow stuff as well that people use too. On my screen here, no, there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. I mean, the yellow does look a little bit washed out compared to all the other colours, because like the sort of, like I was saying, the lighter faces and the sort of colour of the Les Paul and a little bit of the side of your hair that's in the light. The yellow is kind of competing with that a little bit. I would have maybe tried something that pops a little bit more. Maybe, I don't know, a blue or something. A light blue, maybe goes a little bit with your jacket and that post that's kind of going up, straight up and down. That could have been an idea. Just some suggestions. Well, we'll try another one. Excuse me. Excuse me again, sorry. Still stuck at beginner. How can we possibly criticise this thumbnail? This was a great video. And look, you've actually done exactly what I was talking about. I think it looks like you've removed yourself from the background and you've blurred out the background, made it a little bit lighter. Or is that maybe, that's not an AI thumbnail, is it? I don't think it is. You look too real in that for that to be thumbnail, for that to be AI, I think. Excuse me. So yeah, there we go. And yeah, you're blurring the background, and yeah, this text being on your head a little bit is maybe not great. Maybe you could have just made that a little bit smaller. It's big enough, and it's also right in the corner here. Wait a minute, are you seeing the right? Wait a minute. Yeah, here we go. The see right in that top corner there. It's kind of touching. I would have had a little bit more negative space. Yeah, just making that a little bit smaller and bringing it down a tiny little bit so it was away from your head and a little bit centered. Excuse me. But other than that, I mean, that's not going to change anything about the views. Yeah, you blurred the background. You did. That's an excellent one. Right, I'll try one more. Excuse me. How do I do it? Sorry if this is not helpful at all. Excuse me. Okay, let's look at this one, right? These are great. The ones where you've added in, what do you call it? Like a screenshot from someone else's video and you're reacting to it, and you've got good views as well. But what I would have done in this one that would have helped make it pop just a little bit more is your actual background. I probably would have removed that background completely and just went with black so that this guy's thumbnail kind of pops out a little bit more on your thumbnail, because some of his colours and tones are the same as what's in your background and it kind of blurs a little bit. So that's what I probably would have done with that one. But this is great. Wait a minute, what are you saying there? There's a lot of words here as well. See, this is just such a random thing, right? A small detail that I probably would have did. Either not wear a Fender t-shirt, not because it says Fender, but just because it has a big word on it. It's another distracting thing that we've got to look at. So either just a plain t-shirt or just rub that out on Canva, just to sort of get rid of that logo completely, because we've got Fender, BS, all his stuff in his thumbnail, plus this is great. I think that's a little bit too much, so I probably would have went for a plain tee just to make it less distracting. So like I was saying, 2 seconds we've got to decide if we're going to watch this video or not. But you got a lot of views on it anyway, so we can't complain. Right, is that all right, Jojo? I hope I was fair there. I hope there was something there that might have been useful. What did you say there? What was that? Budget pedal chap just having still stuck on one line at beginner below. Yeah, I thought that as well. I did think that before. Depends on the formatting as well. Actually, speaking of which, Jojo, you're always using the same font. That's great to see as well. This really helps with your sort of branding. I would stick with that. I think it's a good idea. It's almost got kind of like a Simpsons vibes a bit, in a good way. It's kind of nostalgic, and it's really clear and easy to see. It's good sizes. Excuse me. Pardon me. So yeah, I hope we're fair with that. Right, okay, let's try Graham Campbell's. Get a wee look. Here we go. Graeme. Campbell. There he is. There he is. There he is. My pal. Oh, I love that. How did that go on? Oh man, that's a shame you didn't get views on that, because that is a good thumbnail. Because right, so I mean, it's got potential to be better, right? So yeah, there's a lot of potential to improve this, mate, right? So, and what I love about it is the font you've used, because it's kind of like a horror thing. Is that like Stephen King or something, or Stranger Things, something like that. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting. And you're talking about something like a crime. Your guitar was stolen. Sorry to hear that, by the way. But when I'm looking at this, right, I see first and foremost, my guitar was stolen and an amp. And it doesn't make any sense. The headstock part, which I'm assuming is the guitar that was stolen, I can barely see because it's hiding behind the text. And it's a very similar tone and colour to the text as well. So, I would if you use Canva as well, I would probably cut that guitar headstock out, move it over to the side. Again, I would probably go all black background, get rid of the amp. We don't need the amp there at all. It's not helping anything. In fact, it's quite distracting and it doesn't make much sense. So like I say, you get 2 seconds, but I think just my guitar was stolen is almost enough. But in terms of, if I went with the title as well, it maybe needs more of a modifier. It finally happened, my guitar was stolen. That's good. To see, this is one of the things that's not always a good idea, is to repeat in the thumbnail text what is in the title, because you've got an opportunity to put something different in there. And again, if you want to be sort of like the brand of your channel, I could see you're in a lot of your thumbnails, but I would either go based on your performance. If you go by most popular, either have yourself in them or don't. Just lean into it. I would put yourself in them, especially in this day and age. I think that human faces are more important than they have been in the past. So for that one, what I would probably do, mate, is I would keep I really like the text centered like that. Excuse me. Yeah, you know what? Or maybe not. Maybe smaller, and having you on one side. So getting rid of the amp, have you on one side, have the guitar headstock on the other side, maybe blurred out so it looks like it's vanished or something like that. Excuse me. And your facial expression needs to read how gutted the face. That is the face. That is the human connection, the human story is going to be the click. Human connection, the human story is going to be the click. I think that's my opinion. I could be wrong. Right, where are we at? Sorry, go back a little bit. Paul Crane, question for Steve. Have you just learnt all this stuff yourself through experience, or have you sought advice from Henning, etc.? No. Yeah, I have asked questions of other creators that I come across. I'm obsessed with this stuff, and I've learnt it mostly through just self-study. I watch loads of videos on thumbnails. For years, I've been like deep diving on it all the time. You've no idea the levels of obsession that I go on thumbnails, and I will spend a whole day making a thumbnail, no joke, right? But to be fair, right, and I don't want to I really don't want to brag, right, or come across as bigging myself up too much, right? But I see mistakes that other channels don't make, and they don't get the views that they deserve. Sometimes their videos, a lot of times their videos deserve a lot more views, but they're just not getting past the packaging. The packaging is so important. This is why I spend so much time on it. And, excuse me, we'll wait for time, we're okay. What was I saying there? I got lost. Yeah, I'll spend the whole day on it. Yeah, in terms of my channel size, right, it's about 11,000 subscribers at the moment, right? And my view average per video is around about 2,500 per video, right? If I'm lucky, right? And I don't want to jinx it or anything like that. And you could make a calculation of saying a percentage of your subscribers, but it's a kind of bad math that you can use to kind of give you a kind of idea of your channel health, but it's not accurate. It's very far from accurate. So basically, if 2.5, I don't know what the percentage is, right? But that's the percentage who are watching my videos, right? Or views that I'm getting. I think it's quite healthy. And I think a big part of that is how much time I put into getting the click. Which is, like, I'll spend so long on a thumbnail. So long on a thumbnail. I think it works. I think it's a huge part of my strategy is thumbnails. But these days I I know what the thumbnail is first. Not all the time. In certain videos when it's an unboxing, which is a lot of my videos, because these videos are a journey and I don't know what I'm going to expect as it unfolds. I don't know what the guitar is going to be like, if it's going to have issues, if I like it, if I don't like it. So yeah, I can't really plan the thumbnails for them ahead. It's kind of based on what happened in the video. Or sometimes I'll go in with my thumbnail being, here's what I think this is going to be like. Is it true? Let's find out together kind of thing. That's the vibe that I go for. So it's a bit of a journey. Or if I'm at a booth, like at a guitar show or something like that, it's live. I don't know what the people are going to say. I don't know what products they're going to show me. Anything can happen. So it's very difficult to plan those thumbnails and titles ahead. Those are the hardest ones to get views on, I find. Unless it's like a new product, sometimes they just get the views themselves. But yeah, so this is not cheating. Let's get a wee look at that. Okay, right. So I've read the title. The thumbnail is what gets the attention first, right? So this is not cheating. Too many people are wrong about capos, right? So the last thing I read there was capos, right? That's the last thing. That's what your video is about. Your video is about capos. This video is about capos, sorry, and it's the last thing that I read. And it's also too difficult to see the capo in the thumbnail. It's too small. It needs to be the star of the thumbnail. You can cut it out, have it big, huge. And also, I actually know that capo. I think it looks like the Fender Dragon capo or the Planet Waves NS capo light. That's the one I use as well. But if you have other capos, maybe go with one that's a more universally recognized capo design style, like a shub or a trigger one or something like that, you know, a spring one. Get it right up. So there's something else you can play with that I've been trying to muck about with recently, is get the capo right up to the lens, right? And you can actually play with the sort of distance, that in focus, and you back. It is a shub. I'm sorry, Graham. Sorry. So, like I say, it's so far in the thumbnail that I can't see it very well. This is effective, right? Having this right up here and you kind of back there. Hold on, let me show you what I mean. Playing with the distance. Actually, see this camera, it does it quite well. It's put me out of focus a bit and the hand in focus. Imagine that being your capo. Hold on, let's just do this, right? Like, here's what I mean, right? Here's the capos I have, right? This is what I was talking about. I thought you had one of these, right? So, although it's a capo, right, that's not the most universally recognized capo that I have. Neither is this one. This is another one. It's a bit too niche, right? This one, I think, is probably more recognizable. So I would always opt with the more, what do you call it? Recognizable one. And try and play with the distance. So hold on a second, right? Let's see if I can do this. Maybe like, that's enough, right? So I would probably cut myself out, me and this, and the capo, right? Cut out the background. Keep this and this. Sorry, this and the capo. Move this off to the side. Actually, I'd flip it. I'd do it the other way. I would do it this way. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out. See, this is, it's worth spending a while on this. So getting something like that. Or you can maybe even be looking through it. That's interesting. Doubtful look. Right, and there's all this space here for text. And you can still move this over. So you can move us and the capo over a bit. And there's still space for that. Budget pedal chap, you like the obscure image, you think it would work if the title didn't tell me it was about capos. Yeah, that's it, that's the kind of idea. So it's an idea thing to play around with. So the capo needs to be the star of the show. And also in the title, sorry, we'll go back to it. Yeah, in the title, if you go back to the capo as not being, could you reword the title so that capo is the first word rather than the last word? I can't think what you would say. Capos are, or, well, there you go. Capos are not what people think. That doesn't make sense, right? But you get the idea. What I'm saying doesn't make sense, but having capo front of the title. Capo in the thumbnail, capo in the title. Instantly we're talking about capos. This is not cheating is super handy as well. Yeah, and I would probably put a bit of a black glow around the this is not cheating as well, so that pops a bit more. I think Budget Pedal chap actually said that as well. Right, sorry, go back to the chat a little bit. I need another drink. Excuse me. Graham Campbell, your views have tanked recently, unfortunately, so any advice is needed. Yeah, views, I mean, this is it. So the thumbnail is just the in the door, and it's all part of the bigger picture. Thumbnail, title, and the video content itself. Man, I would, if anybody, I know it's a smaller crowd here, right? I know, listen, if you, give me some feedback, right? In the chat. What do you think of this? It's not the happy-go-lucky Steve that's having a laugh about guitars, reading all the chat, doing a jam at the start. I'm talking like deep dive stuff here on YouTube strategies, thumbnails and forensics. I understand that the crowd here is probably the other creators, and to be honest, this is exactly who I wanted to talk to, because I do see this thumbnail problem on the platform. I don't think it's helping, the AI thumbnail thing. I think everybody should be cautious of it. Oh, by the way, here's some top tips, right? If you generate an AI thumbnail, make that part of the process. I actually do have some takeaways. Let me get into the takeaways, right? I wrote them down. I wouldn't like just generate the whole thumbnail. So have AI generate you a few thumbnails, excuse me, just for layout and ideas. So maybe it will put the guitar in a certain position, or your face in a certain position, or the text somewhere. Do it for that kind of idea, and then try and recreate it properly using a proper picture and stuff in Canva or whatever software you use. Professionals use Photoshop, right? I'm not a professional. I've just been learning all this stuff as I go along, making it all up. So that's one takeaway, okay? You can use the AI thumbnail thing for idea generation, right? But remember, the ideas are based on viral videos, and if everybody's using viral videos, so there we go. 2, any text that's in it, remove it. Don't use the AI generated text. If we're going by the logic based on the poll and my feelings and maybe your feelings that people are put off by AI thumbnails, the biggest giveaway is the text. So remove the text, replace it with a worse text, right? A more, you know what I mean, right? It's the AI thumbnail text is too stylized and it's too obvious to see. Third takeaway, question the text. Whatever text that generates in the thumbnail, it doesn't mean you go with that and it's a good idea. It'll probably do something that makes no sense. See if you've already made some AI generated thumbnails and you look at the text in them, do they actually make sense? Think about it and think what would maybe be better, because it just puts out random stuff a lot of times that doesn't help. And remember the important thing, what is your thumbnail trying to say? Like what you're trying to say with your thumbnail to the viewer about what this video is about. Game changer. Also, the biggest takeaway that I can give you is think about your thumbnail and the title before you film anything. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest one. Okay. Sorry, right, where did we get to? Okay. Oh, sorry, Jojo. I wasn't. Wait a minute. Is that right? Sorry. You were torn between putting just a still of you playing one of the guitars and this one, but you went with it because it was just a nice shot. But you agree it doesn't align with the title. Yeah. There you go. But I mean, there's always ways that you could do thumbnail testing. Personally, I think that's a really bad idea for small channels. I could do, when I say small channels, I say under 50k, maybe even under 100k subs. Or maybe not even so much to do with the subs, it's more to do with how many views you get per video on average. Okay, where did we get to there? Right, I'm going to catch up a bit, sorry. Search for tone, also not using YouTube face, but using someone who is using a YouTube face works. So someone else's YouTube face, yeah, maybe, that could work, I suppose. Yeah, it tells the story, exactly, yeah. Another thing that's great about Jojo's thumbnails as well is that like I was saying before, it's a great representation of when you actually get into the content. The thumbnails are like the video. You click on the video and it's all cohesive. It looks the same, it's got the same feel, it's the same vibe. You want to see Jojo in the video, Jojo's in the video, she's in the thumbnail, and I like that she's keeping the text the same as well. They're honest thumbnails, so I'm a fan. And they've got way better as well, because Jojo, you'll admit this yourself, that you didn't even consider thumbnails before. Now you are, and it's made a big difference. It's probably helped your views as well. Oh, sorry, I went back quite far there, apologies. Sorry. IMA640, you don't think you take that much notice of the thumbnail, more the creator or the title, unless you do subconsciously. Maybe subconsciously, and like what you say with the creator, that's why I think for a lot of channels it's a good idea to have your face in the thumbnail, if you're the sort of personality type thing. Sorry, I'm quite behind. Oh, Graham Campbell, capos aren't a cheat code. That's brilliant. That's a great title. Oh man, that's a really great title. Like your 3 C's. Why is my iPhone doing that? God, that's been on the whole time. Sorry. Right, apologies. Yeah, so the capos, 5-letter C word, cheat, 5-letter C word, code, 4-letter C word. Yeah. Or maybe even more punchy is instead of aren't, maybe are not. Capos are not a cheat code. It's kind of got a bit of rhythm to it as well. Capos are not a cheat code. Capos aren't a cheat code. Yeah. These are the kind of things I think about as well, as kind of like the rhythm. You think it wouldn't matter like how it speaks, but it is a consideration. Graham, you're not familiar with the channel. Oh, so Paul, you're speaking to Graham, but you're going to check it out. Okay, nice. The thumb screw NS capo is the one you used to precise tension. Yeah, I love that capo, yeah. BPC, this will probably tank on your channel, but it's a very interesting scene for sure. Yeah, I don't expect this to perform well. I didn't do it for it to perform well. I just had to get it off my chest. I had to talk about it. There we go. Can you change thumbnail after publication? Yes, you most certainly can, but listen, never do it within the first 48 hours. Okay, maybe you could do it within the... If your video is like tanking hard, really bad, right? If it's totally just not picking up anything, but definitely don't change it in the first 2 hours. Never. Never in the first 12 hours. 24, I mean, the further back, the further you can leave it, the better. Try and make a better thumbnail in the first place, obviously, is the thing. Don't let it be an afterthought. But never change your thumbnail when it's still getting tested. That's guaranteed to tank your video. Too many creators do it, I see it all the time. Like if they don't get the views in the first sort of hour that they're expecting, they're like, oh no, the thumbnail's terrible. I'll change it, or I'll delete the video or something like that. It's give it a chance, you know. I've had videos that pick up over time. Some like take 2 years and then all of a sudden they start getting views. It's just so random sometimes. But yes, Rexamatic, you can change the thumbnail after publication, and I've did it as well, lots. I went back and did a lot of my old thumbnails. In fact, something I do is, if I get a video that that tanked, like a new video that tanked, and I was like, oh, it hurts sometimes when you put a lot of time and effort into something. It's like, damn, especially if it's one you're thinking, I was sure I got the thumbnail right on that one, but so much more is involved in it as well. There's also timing, like as what else is out on the platform at the same time as well. Season, time of year. But yeah, sometimes if I get a tanker, I'll not try and salvage it, I'll just let it do its thing. But I'll go and find an older video and see, or 2 or 3, see if I can repackage it, retweak the title and the thumbnail. You never know, give it a better chance for later. Now that I've got sort of more experience, I can go back to a video from a year ago and now I can make better thumbnails and titles, or maybe try and tweak that one a bit. That's something I do to make myself feel a bit better about a recent video that's tanked. Excuse me. IMA640, as a non-creator, I didn't know this thumbnail thing was so important. It certainly is, IMA640. It's, I mean, maybe you'll notice now, next time you go on your homepage, like the kind of things that you click on and you don't take mental notes. feedback to us that you watch. Man, I think I could probably speak for every creator here. I hope this is accurate. If a viewer came in that normally watches your channel and gave you some feedback on your thumbnail, we would love that so much, good or bad, just so we can improve on it, because analytics they're great, they tell you so much, but they also tell you nothing. They don't tell you about what people really think. And when one viewer does comment something like that, we have to take it with a pinch of salt as well. It's just one person's opinion. It doesn't count for everyone. But if you said something like, I don't know, I can't think of anything that would be a fair criticism. So how you do it as well, you know, but it would be really helpful. I would love to hear any kind of feedback like that. Excuse me. Good music is good. You've been thinking about posting. This is interesting. Great. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Give it a go. You didn't know of any of this when you started your channel. Yeah, same here, Jojo. I didn't know anything either. You didn't even do thumbnails, yeah. Paul Crane, you like this kind of stuff. You're not a YouTube creator. You probably like 70-30 or 80-20 split with music YouTube, but you like the more in-depth. Oh, nice one. Cheers, mate. Graham, it's a helpful review, Graham. Nice one. GRB, you've got a good face for radio. Nice one. There's a song by a Dundee band called The View, Face for the Radio. It's a good one. I know what it's saying anyway. Jojo Fry values all feedback. Rexomatic would love thumbnail feedback. Yeah, that's it. We all want to do better in our thumbnails. I don't know if you missed any of it, but some of the golden rules that we talked about earlier when I tried to fix the bad thumbnail. Keep it to the 3 elements rule is a good one. Don't make it too busy, too cluttered. AI thumbnails, use them if you want. Here's the thing, right? I suppose, see, I think that they're going to be harmful for channels using AI thumbnails. What I could have did was, I could have said, yeah, everybody, use AI thumbnails. I've did a poll and I know it's putting people off. So yeah, you go and use the AI thumbnails, right? And I'm going to do my own thing. And people are not going to click on your videos and they'll click on mine because I'm not using them. Right? I don't want to do that, right? I want to help. I want to help the community. I want us to help each other. And it does bother me when I see good creators with good videos and they just make sort of poor thumbnail choices and they don't get the views. And it's usually based on the thumbnail. So I want to help. Use the AI ones if you want. I think it's a bad idea. Do whatever you want. There you go. Right, we've almost did the whole thing. There we go. We need to sort of Discord with the creators to give each other feedback on the regs. So that's, I mean, yeah. We've already got we were trying to do the live stream TV thing before. That kind of fell apart, but there's a load of us in a Facebook group chat. So if anybody wants to do that, I don't know how we can organise getting added to that, but if you know anyone on Facebook, I barely use it. Like anyone here that's in it, join the chat. Maybe we can turn it into a thumbnail sort of feedback thing. I'm in another chat of people that do that as well, but I still see it. Right? Like I said, I mentioned this before, I always feel like it's a sort of a cringe flex, but I'm in a group chat based on sort of being at 42 Gear Street and stuff like that. It's a massive group chat with loads of creators in it, and you wouldn't believe some of these channels that are so big that are still doing their thumbnails as afterthoughts. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. You can massively up your game by considering your thumbnail idea first. Before you even make your video, you need the idea. I'd probably think of title first before thumbnail. Think of a good title, a good angle for your video. Like if someone's doing a product review or something like that, or if you want to talk about a certain subject, what would be a catchy title you think, yeah, that'd be a good title. And then think, what image would best represent that? That would, yeah, the more simple you can make it, the better. The best thumbnails don't have any text or anything in it. It's just like an action shot. Oh, I forgot to mention Outliers. I'll do it really quickly. Really quickly, we're going to talk about Outliers, right? Because everything I've said, guidelines, and you'll always find where that is not the case. Right, quickly, we're going to go into this. Has anyone heard of Colin and Samir? See how this comes up. Right, they do a podcast. I know that my screen's too big. Can I fix this? These guys here, I'm going to try and fix this. Sorry, hold on. Apologies, this will take me a minute to resize. Is that better? Whoops. It's just started auto-playing. I hope you can't hear that. Sorry if you can hear that. I'm trying to fix it. Hold on. Stop playing. All right, okay, here we go. Videos, videos. Sorry, we're getting there. We're getting there. Right, that'll do. That'll do. Right, Colin and Samir, they do a podcast, right? They're like they've got a creator channel type thing, right? There we go. Right, these guys, you see this here? White, yellow, black. They started this, right? It's their title format, right? We can go back far enough, right? This is where they've started playing around with it. Where are we? 3 years ago, right? Huge podcast, by the way. They got loads of big creators on. Right, oops, sorry. We'll go up a little bit more, and you can see where they start to dial in. About here, where they're starting to do the white, black. Here we go. Look at this one. This one right here. If you can see it. Oh, sorry, I'm actually... Oh, you can see the title, but I'll try and fix that again. Hold on. Ah, so annoying. Try to resize things. There we go. Right. So yeah, you see this? They started this trend, right? And a lot of their videos go viral-esque. They get a lot of views. Look, they've got Mr. Beast and whatnot in there. This white, yellow, black, the yellow bar and the black background, all that stuff, always does really well, right? And the thing is, things that do well, people copy. So there are so many copycats of the Colin and Samir channel that this has just became the norm, right? And this is why almost every AI generated thumbnail brings up that template, white, yellow, black, because it's viral. Because not only Colin and Samir, but about 1,000 other channels, probably 100,000 other channels, maybe that's too many, that also do this. I was even doing it too. I was going with the yellow text because I thought that gets views. I might stop doing it. I'm looking for another colour. I'm seeing other people using other colours these days. Right, so there, that's where the black and white text comes from, right? Here's something else I want to show you. Is anyone familiar with, is it Penguin OZ or Moist Critical? How do you say it? Is he going to come up here? Yeah, this guy, Penguin Zo. Right, there are always outliers. This guy here is one of the biggest creators on the platform, 18 million subs, right? And look at his thumbnails. He does nothing thumbnails and he gets like mental views, right? That's just 2 hours ago and he's got 305,000 views on it. 1.5 million views, 18 hours ago, 2.8 million views, 1 day ago. Look at the thumbnails. These are the worst thumbnails ever. They are junk, right? But, and I'm not criticizing him in the slightest, right? He knows that that's his thing. His thing is bad thumbnails. That's a part of his brand and people will click regardless of what he does. And by the way, I love this creator. I watch his stuff quite regularly. And yeah, so there's an outlier right there. In the guitar community, we've got 2 outliers. And I'm not saying that these thumbnails are bad like Penguin OZ, right? But Phil McKnight, right, especially second channel is what I would want to show you, right? But see Justin, his actual videos, right? I better be careful with my words here, right? But look, in terms of like a high quality image, color contrast, clarity of the image, all that kind of stuff, it's not like high level, you know what I'm saying? But he doesn't need it. He does it because he's Phil McKnight and his value is so high and everybody, including me, will click on his videos regardless because he's just got the best takes. And to be honest, his titles are so strong, it sort of, the thumbnail is not as important for Phil McKnight's channel. Some channels are just like that. I'll give you another one, right? Check this out. Oh wait, that's not how you say his name. There we go. Spectre Sound Studios, Glenn Fricker, right? This is so funny, right? By the way, speaking of learning stuff, you would not believe how much stuff I learned from Glenn Fricker at 42 Gear Street, right? So these thumbnails are better in terms of quality, right? But there was a running joke about his videos, right? Because he uses the same guitar box in every video. Myth, lost again, $40. A lot of other creators at 42 Gear Street were sort of criticising him, not criticising him, making fun of him, you know, slagging him. It's like, man, are you just going to use the same box in every thumbnail? And he's like, yeah, because it works. And it does. You know what I mean? Look, he's got the same face and box, and some of the thumbnails are just exactly the same with different words. Once again, Fricker's content is so good and his titles are so strong as well that he doesn't need great thumbnails, although the thumbnails are still working. The mystery of the box. I want to show you one more thing. Check this out. Here's a little bit of a background analytics. Come out here. Can you see this? Yes, you can. If I go into my channel content, no wait, I just need to refresh studio. This is the last thing I'll show you, right? If anybody makes YouTube videos, you'll be familiar with 1 of 10, so how your videos rank. Here's my last 10 videos and how they rank, right? You can, wait a minute, how can I do this? Let's try that again. There we go. Right, can you see them? My last 10 videos and how they rank, right, in terms of performance. Check this out. Guitar box, guitar box, guitar box, guitar box, guitar box. Top 5 are guitar boxes. And based on the poll, only 6% of people are bothered by that, which is fair enough, right? I get it. I get it why you'd be bothered. Right, check this out. We're going to go further down. This was a hard one to do a thumbnail on, right? Because it was from a China video. I didn't get a good still and I didn't make a thumbnail. I spent ages on this one in Canva trying to get something clickable. This one was, I thought this was going to be a great video, a great thumbnail. It wasn't. I don't know why. I'll need to look into that. This one was a video that I expected to perform poorly because I actually filmed it 2 years ago, and I think it might do okay on search over time, but this was expected. This one here is an AI thumbnail. I tried one. I tried an AI thumbnail and it totally tanked, right? There's a video about pick guards. That's probably just topic why it's number 10. But there you go, look. Guitar boxes work for me. And Glenn Fricker. Does that mean every channel needs to do guitar boxes from now on? I don't know. The title's very important. It's got to have intrigue. I mean, with a guitar box, there's already built-in intrigue. What's in the box? Kind of thing. So it works. Right, okay. Listen, we're already over time and there was such a long stream. A quick catch up on the things here. We do need ways to connect on this stuff. Yes, we do. Budget pedal chat, problem you have is that you're super into YouTube growth strategies and best practice, but don't have like-minded to bounce ideas off it. There we go. Let's get the group chat going or something. Black and yellow works in almost any art or graphic. Yes, it does. But when it gets to the point where the platform is oversaturated with it, is it still as effective? I mean, visually it works, yeah. That's the thing. It's the P-Hub template said good music is good. Yeah, I suppose it is, yeah. I see a lot of people using that for their merch and stuff as well. Scott Bogfoot, you used to make thumbnails a million years ago. Thanks for putting your link to the chat, mate. Thanks for coming along as well. Jojo Fry, you always watch Phil, me too. You can't handle Glenn's yelling. Yeah, a lot of people get that. But it's part of the character, you know, it works. Shrin Finn, these are way better than penguins right off. Yeah, that's it. See, there are outliers, that's the thing. You'll always find an example of, well, Penguin OZ doesn't make good thumbnails and he gets loads of views. It doesn't work like that, you know what I mean? There we go, Fricker Not Phil. Yes, you can't watch Glenn videos. You're sure there's some good information in them yet? Yeah, that's all good. That's fine, look, each to their own. It's all good. Cheers, Steve. I really liked it. Good. Right, I'm glad on a good one. Okay, thanks you all very much. Until next time, this was a weird one. If you're watching on catch up and you got this far, wow, let me know in the comments if we should do something else like this in the future. Titles, any other kind of strategy kind of things, hooks, whatever, you know what I mean? Right, thanks for watching. Until next time. See you later. Thanks to the Patreons as well that I forgot to thank, but you know I love you all. Thank you very much. Right, we're getting out of here. Thanks for staying to the end. For those who stayed to the end, you're all the best. Business as usual next week. Back to fun times, all right? But I had to get that off my chest.